excited to have you, Kaia, for our next episode of Chill and Spill. You are in our HR, you are our HR. So I wanted to take a second and see if you could introduce yourself.
My name's Kaia. I am the Human Resource Manager here at Ceres Chill. I'm a one-woman show. The whole department is just me, so I wear a lot of hats, but I absolutely love it. I'm definitely, like, this is kind of out of my comfort zone because I'm not typically someone who likes to be, like, front and center. I like being behind the scenes, which is why HR is perfect for me. But I love this whole segment of, like, diving into, like, the behind the scenes of Ceres Chill, so I'm happy to be here.
Yay. I'm so glad. Yeah, I think it's really cool. And I think people really like to see what happens behind the curtain, if you will.
Absolutely. It's actually a really funny story because I never intended to be in HR. Like, any job that I've had, like, HR has always been like the first stop of, getting a job, last stop of, exiting a job, and then, benefits or whatnot. I never really had a desire to get into HR until I got into Ceres Chill. And as we all know, Lisa is a powerhouse and does everything on her own, literally built this company from scratch. And when I came on in 2023, I originally came on as her executive assistant. I helped out with managing her calendar. I did a lot of the event planning. We attended a lot of events in 2023. I was really the point of contact who got everybody to where they needed to go. And I planned the annual retreat that we all attend. And as I was getting more comfortable in my position and kind of figuring out where I fit, I just saw this need of we don't have a designated department or even person to welcome everybody in. It was really all on Lisa. And I remember I think you and I came on kind of similar timelines, but when I came on, I just remember being so excited because I landed this awesome remote job with a company that I loved. But I also just felt very what am I supposed to be doing? Where do I fit? What is the protocol here? So I really just reached out to Lisa one day and was like, hey, I don't know if you even think I'm qualified for this, but I realize that we don't really have human resource department or anybody who takes care of that. And I'd like to be the one to do that if you think I would be a good fit. And Lisa loved the idea. She was so happy and just so excited that that was something that I wanted to take on. And so I went back to school and learned basics of HR, kind of what it entails. And now here I am building the department from scratch and supporting all of these amazing people in Ceres Chill. It's been a really awesome experience because I am just me. It's just my own department. Yeah. And not that I don't work well with a team, but I am really excited to be in this position because I really get to be feet on the ground. What does the company need? How does it operate? And how can we build it up to support the people that are here so that we do turn into a 100-year company? So it's been very fun and unexpected, but I love it. It's been just such an adventure and I love to learn. But my number one product right now is the Flip and Sip Top. I'm not breastfeeding anymore. I've moved past that stage of my life, but I'm still using all of my chillers on a rotational basis. I have my OGs and my demis. And I just love the fact that I can use those and I have a water bottle that works. I can use tea, I was drinking tea out of it yesterday. I have a little bit of a sore throat. So I just love that this small little accessory makes the bigger, the more well-known product or chiller available for moms who are past their breastfeeding journey. So that's definitely my favorite right now.
I love that. And I do have to say, you totally influenced me when you and your daughter got matching chillers. And I was like, well, now me and my daughter need to have matching chillers.
The dawn and the dusk. We're pink girlies. And as soon as we came out with that pink color, I was like, we have to have those. So to me, it's so fulfilling to know that I'm making a difference in the people's lives who are making a difference in our customers' lives, our moms' lives, making sure that everyone feels supported and valued and truly seen. Thankfully, our team is small enough where I know everybody. I know every
Yeah.
single person. I probably know something personal about them in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And that's really meaningful to me. It's not just like nobody's just numbers. It like we really get to advocate for benefits of, you know, working parents, and that starts in house. If our people in house aren't feeling supported, we're not going to be able to support the moms who are reaching out for us for support. So that to me is just like it's so heartwarming, even if it might seem small, even if it's tedious or little things, even, you know, conflict resolution, you know, maybe like some of the less positive things of HR, knowing that like there, you know, someone like me, I'm
Yeah.
tooting my own horn, but like someone like me who like actually cares and empathizes and really puts herself in the position of what other people are experiencing, I think that's so rewarding. And it's just like I get up excited to do work every day.
Oh, I love
I
that.
always start my day kind of just scrolling through and seeing what's up and
I
what's been going on in the
know.
Facebook group.
Yes. And our Facebook group is so great. If you are watching this and you're not in our Facebook group, I really encourage you to do it because, like Kaia, like you just said, it's so supportive. And I mean, there's so many people in that group that just like, you know, you're going to find somebody that can relate to your struggles. And it's really awesome. And there's some insider things that happen in that Facebook group. So you might want to join.
Yeah, this is actually a really good question. Especially we're still very small. I think I don't know about you, but I get questions all the time before hiring, and I like first of all, I love that. Like I love that people want to work for us. We are still a very small team, very family run. So when we do hire, it's usually very specific positions. But we really seek out candidates who align with our values of innovation, inclusivity, work-life balance. You know, our people that we bring in, they're mission driven. You know, it's not just a job for everyone who works, you know, with Ceres Chill. Everyone has like a really like defined reason why they want to work for us, and I think that really speaks out to like the type of people and type of candidates that we attract. Our mission is really about fostering family friendly inclusive
Mhm.
workplaces. You know, the chiller is basically meant to help moms go back to work. So like I've
Yeah.
kind of mentioned, that has to trickle over into we can't just walk the walk and not talk the talk. Like we have to
Yeah.
have our business operating in a way that we want to, you know, show up in the world, and that includes involving, you know, family friendly policies, allowing people to really bring their whole selves to work and feel valued. We really
Yeah.
want people who come into the company to be a type of like forward thinker, thinking of things, you know, that could push us forward and, you know, ultimately bring us along for the long runs that we're around.
Yeah.
And again, just like the culture of like support and empowerment. I don't know a single I don't think there's been a week that I've been here that someone hasn't been celebrated for something. And that's really important to our culture. So, you know, we don't really handle like people who are just like, no, I don't want to work. Like, if you're not collaborative, if you're not open to like
Yeah.
hearing different points of views, if you're not able to like shift quickly, a lot of stuff happens
Mhm.
very quickly here in Ceres Chill Land. So, people who are adaptable, all of those things are things that we look for when we are bringing on hiring candidates. Most of our company are working parents, and like I've said before, like we have to walk the walk to talk the talk, and we are like our whole business model is making sure that working parents feel supported and championing those working parents. So we don't just like most companies, yes, I'll acknowledge that, you know, their employees probably have kids. And there's like a difference between just like simply accommodating them and actively designing products, policies, and
Mhm.
culture around supporting them. I mean, we're all parents. Most of us are all parents or caregivers of some sort. We have dog parents, we have cat parents.
Mhm.
Like, that's a caregiver, you know,
Yeah.
and nobody in this company is gonna be like, hey, you need to drop what you're doing and stop taking care of your, you know, your
Yeah.
caregiver to do this job. We're not
Yeah.
actually saving lives here. I think this was one of the
Yeah.
like best things. Like, yes, we are making a difference, and yes, like with getting breast milk to babies and things like that. But in and of itself, like we are not actually performing brain surgery. There's really nothing that can like
So true.
be so important that it needs to be done like immediately. You would think like, okay, well, if you don't, pressure your people to be on, like, are they even working? Yes. Like when you are able to take a step back and really like trust that your people are going to get what they're getting done and they're going to be where they need to be when they need to be there, like we get so much done. Like I don't know, like we don't have mouse jigglers. I'm not watching to see who's active on teams and things like that because I don't care. Like, okay, so what? Rebecca's little circle is yellow. Like maybe she's doing something. Like maybe she's going to the fridge and getting a snack. Like to me, like that in and of itself is just like I don't need to micromanage anybody because I trust that everybody's gonna get done when they need to get it done. And I think that like really stands out because a lot of the times when people like hear that I have my kid at home or whatnot, they're just like, how do you do it? It's like, because I work for an awesome company that trusts and understands that I'm a caregiver first, and then I'm going to give everything that I can into my job to the best of my ability. And I feel like that's just like the basis for everyone in the company. Everybody has to hold their own responsibility and manage their work-life balance in the way that they see fit for them. My job as human resources is to make sure everybody has the tools and the availability to do that. Everybody knows kind of the basis of like what's expected. Everyone's kind of expected to be available during working hours, but everybody kind of has their own leniency of like what that kind of looks like. And I think that makes us stronger.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also cool too because like since we're all remote, we're all over the country, so our working hours can actually differ depending on where we're at.
The majority of everyone is out on Pacific Coast, on the West Coast. So I mean, you and I were here in Kentucky. We're on East Coast. So I really enjoy that kind of break because for me it means I don't have to be up at 7 a.m. to like obviously I check in on things that I've missed on the hours. I try to finish up anywhere between like 6 and 7 depending on kind of what I'm doing. And then I like over there, that's a couple hours. And mostly, I don't think we really had any real issues of like East Coast people being done with their work. And what, we're all very collaborative and it's, which is really cool. We all have continuous communication. Everybody, I love our playbook because it has where everybody's time zone is. So chances are, if you're not getting a response from an East Coast person at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock on West Coast time, it's probably because they're going to check it in the morning on East Coast time. So that flexibility is really cool. And I don't really think we've had any major issues of like time zone. I mean, Lisa's out in Dubai right now and she's still like clocked in and doing her thing. So I love the remote flexibility there.
I do too. And I think it works really well for our company as well.
Yes. Like that it's bad. Like if HR is coming for you, HR is basically just there to fire you. HR is there only for the company. That's probably my least favorite. I'm now getting into the HR realm a little bit more and I see a lot of just attitude of like HR is not looking out for you. And I don't agree with that at all. Like my people are my people. Every person that comes in, every personnel file that I have is a person. Yes, my job is to protect the company in terms of legality and compliance. We need to be operating in a way that benefits the company, but the company is not going to run if the people aren't supported. And I think what's really special, especially since we're so small, is that, like I've said, I know every single person. I know a little bit about their backstory. I know pretty much everyone's family or whatnot. And like, I really care about that. I want to make sure, like, making sure that everyone has the support that they need benefits them and not only their families. Yes, the company needs to be protected and we have policies and procedures and things like that establish that. But I am not here to take anybody's job. I'm not here to be scary. I don't want, and I think I say this a lot, like, I don't want anybody to be anxious when I reach out to them. Like, I don't want anyone to be like, oh no, like, what does Kaia need? Like, I don't want that at all. I want people to be like, hey, like, the person who's in charge of making sure everyone is supporting is checking in on me. Like, and that's typically usually what it is. If I have a question for someone or if I'm looking for something, it's not because I'm looking to like out you or find what you're doing wrong, especially when it comes to like performance management or things like that. I really want to make sure that the company and the people in it are supported. So I think that's like the biggest, and I'm not going to say that there aren't companies out there whose HR departments aren't like that, but that's not how we operate here.
I love that. I love that. I hear that all the time, especially like from the hospital perspective of
Hmm.
HR is for the hospital and not for
Yes.
you. That is something that I've heard. Like when you said that, I was like, yep, I've heard that one quite a bit.
Yes. Yep. Yep. I mean, that's just the vibe. Like, that's what,
Yeah.
and I think that's why when I told Lisa I wanted to go into human resources, she was kind of like, you do? And I was like, yes, like I do. Like, I want to be that person to support the company and the people in it.
Hmm.
And it's been so fun. Like, yes, there have been unfortunate circumstances and
Yeah.
situations that have been brought to my plate. But really, like, my job is to be a mediator and to be totally neutral, to hear everybody's side on how
Yeah.
things have played out. There have been unfortunate things that I've had to let people go, which is always sad, but in terms of supporting the company, we have to do what's best for both the companies and the employees in it.
Yeah.
Well, that's really the big one is, and that's kind of what I'm learning. Like, it's just me, and there are so many departments and moving parts of human resources. Because kind of like I was saying, like I'm building all these policies right now, and I keep feeling like, oh, I like now I need to build this one. I'm like, oh, and then I just finished that one, and I have this. But like I said, we're still very small but agile. I think we've got a total of 20 employees right now, so 19, not including myself. And so I really get to put in a personalized approach to HR. I really know what works, what we're currently doing that works, what we're kind of lacking that might work. I really get to do like a lot of like engagement, like even this interview here, like there's a lot of personal engagement that I get to be a part of in terms of like
Yeah.
other bigger HR departments. You might have like an HR manager or a director of HR, but then you have all these representatives that basically answer to them. And so you might not have like that personal connection. The department may be bigger. And I mean, if we got to a point where we expanded and we need to
Yeah.
hire like 50 to 100 people like immediately, I would need some help. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I can do it all. But I love being able to be like, I'm hands in, I'm doing the
Yeah.
benefit stuff. I'm talking to people about performance management. If there's any issues, they're going to talk to me. They're not going to talk to
Yeah.
someone who they don't know. And I think that's really special.
I think so too. I love that. I love that.
I'm doing a lot of research, honestly. Like a lot of my day, like right now I'm really big on like building policies. We're actually getting ready to establish like training that like everybody knows training that they go through for when they come into
Yeah.
a job. That's kind of our next step is we're probably going to have to go back and have everybody take all these trainings, but that's kind of what my wheelhouse has been right now is getting all these policies ready and then figuring out, okay, what type of training do we need? You know, managers need bias training.
Yeah.
There's anti-harassment training, compliance training, things
Yeah.
like that. Just little things that people don't necessarily think about. Conflict resolution's a big one. If there's an issue between a department or two people in a department, I'm there usually listening and trying to figure out what the best solution is for people to avoid, you know, any big fallout. Benefits management, if anybody has any issues with like their benefits or their payroll, that I'm the gal that they're going to talk to. If I don't have the answer for something, I'm going to figure it out. I'm not a know-all. I'm a lot of the time I'm learning as I go. But I really like that, and I do all of the, you know,
Hmm.
data and record keeping. I make sure everybody's personal information is safe, which is huge. And again, making sure that everybody's prioritizing their wellness and their well-being.
Yeah.
We are not actually performing brain surgery. This is an important job, yes, but we need our people to be taken care of. So I threw together, we have our chill challenge that we do with like fun trivia. We have our coffee clubhouse that gives people the opportunity, since we are remote, gives everybody the opportunity to just hop on and chat about, you know, what's going on in the week. And hopefully more things coming soon. I have some ideas of things that we can incorporate, and I'm constantly just like asking questions. And the feedback that I've gotten from our onboarding from our last new hire was really, really positive, and I take that very seriously, and I'm recording that and making sure I know what worked that time, so that way we can duplicate that and keep bringing on awesome people. So there's a lot. Yeah. So one thing I mean, I think everybody knows this, but I am honestly not sure. We have a lot of people in our face group. We're fully remote. except for the warehouse. Like everybody, we do not have an office. We do not have like a central place. Like everybody lives all over the country. And that in and of itself is just really cool because it doesn't narrow us down to one specific location. The warehouse is a different story. Yes, if you want to work in the warehouse, you do need to be in Spokane. Like we can't do anything about that. We don't have more than one warehouse. But that isn't like I don't have to go anywhere. Like that is like I'm home right now with my daughter. My child is home. Like that's all I could ask for. That's a parent's dream is to just be able to be at home and work, support for their family. We have flexible hours. So like I said, we do all operate under typical business hours. 9-ish to 5. I mean, I'd say we're later. I think our social media posts usually go out later in the afternoon, but there's usually somebody available at any time. Our customer service team is really good about this. They have a really good shift breakdown of who's covering what when. I start my day when I need to. Like today, this is my first thing that I'm starting with my day. I'm going to work until I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I think that's a full day's of work. That maybe 7 to 8 o'clock tonight. Like it's really very flexible. And I think like being able to know like, okay, I'm not being like watched for everything that I'm doing every second. I know that my responsibility is, yes, if I'm working, I need to be available for work. But that flexibility, like I can just be like, okay, I'm going to get lunch now. Or, hey, I'm going to, take 15 minutes to just, spend a couple minutes with my daughter and then I'm going to get back into what I'm doing. That really sets a good, like she knows when I'm working and I love being able to have that distinction of like, she's seeing mom work, and do something outside of the home, even if I'm home. So I think that's really awesome. We also are just all very inclusive and supportive. We're still very small, so everybody knows each other. Everybody knows each other's kids and their background, their dogs, their cats, and things like that. And our annual retreat, which I planned last year, and we're getting ready to plan our second one. That was probably one of the most transformational times of my life. It was so incredible. I like every night pretty much I just cried because I was so grateful that I got to bring everyone together and just like have this amazing team bonding experience that was so family oriented. Like almost everybody brought either their kids or their significant others, and like everybody just meshed so well. And I'm so looking forward to next year's because like that that retreat last year was the first time most of us had met for the first time. And that was just so incredible. Like we all just clicked so well. Like dinner was amazing. Our team building experiences were amazing.
Really
the bus event what we went to, like that was just so, and you don't find that everywhere. We are truly true to our word when we are a family run business. We know that everybody's family makes an impact in here. So yeah, I think that's really, really special. And another like really dignified, like this is a Ceres Chill policy and it works.
Yeah.
There needs to be like designated training for managers, senior leadership, anybody who's like supervising. I think there needs to be like some sort of training. I don't even know what it would be called, but like new parent management training. Like, I really think like a gradual return is a number one. Like we don't want to like discriminate against moms in any way, shape, or form, but understanding and meeting them where they're at and letting them know that they have the support they need. I think that's huge. Obviously, you and I could talk about this probably for hours. Private lactation spaces, like moms should not be pumping in the bathroom. Like they should not have to be forced to go out to their car for a minute of privacy. Like that is huge. Like that, like thankfully our chiller makes it so we don't have to be worrying about fridge space and things like that. But making sure parents have, if they choose to, feed through lactation, having that space to do so in a private and comfortable place, that really can make a difference. Because I know a ton of moms that are returning to work are just stressed about where am I going to pump? How am I going to provide for my baby? And then finally, just like clear communication and support. We've had a couple moms that have gone on maternity leave since I've become an HR, and it's not that I want them to take their time while they're off and to bond with their baby, but I am checking in, seeing, is there anything that I can do for you? Is there, we're thinking of you. And it's not just like, we're thinking of you because we want you to return to work. It's
Yeah.
I'm thinking of you, and if there's anything, like, you are still an employee of this team, and if there's anything I can do to support you, I want to do that. And if that includes making your transition to come back to work easier, that's going to make my job easier. It's going to make your job easier, and it's going to make the company operate better. And I just want any job to be able to support their moms and working moms in the way that they can. I want society to be able to support non-working moms, stay-at-home moms in a way that's, more beneficial to us. Because if the moms are supported, we're gonna, look at what Lisa's done. Like, look at what she's created. Look at what moms are capable of. They're so capable of accomplishing so many things. And if we really look at who's getting the stuff done, it's the moms who have the right accommodations and the right support. So that's just, I think that would really change the perspective for a lot of companies if they really took the time to really look at, okay, we have women of childbearing ages. These are, if they're expected to have children at any time during this time, how can we support them so that they can take that leave that they need, they can bond with their baby, and then they will want to return if that's something that they want, and we can support them in the way that they need.
Absolutely.
I would tell her, I always knew that I wanted to have a baby. I always knew I wanted to be pregnant and experience that. I didn't think about as like breastfeeding as much. It just, I knew I was probably going to do it, but I didn't really know or think about how impactful it was going to be. I was very gracious to make it 1 whole year breastfeeding my daughter. And if I could have told myself that breastfeeding would ultimately be the thing that changed my life forever, my dedication to wanting to breastfeed, being flexible with how it looked. My first couple weeks of breastfeeding was pumping. I was exclusively pumping for about the first 6 weeks, and then she miraculously latched, and it was amazing. And that was because I was flexible with it and how it looked. And what worked for me. I found the Ceres Chiller, shot my shot, and now here I am. I'm supporting moms and our company in a way that I could have never imagined. So it's better than I could have asked for, and all because I wanted to breastfeed. I was looking for a mini fridge when I was pregnant, because I thought that's how I'm going to keep my breast milk cold. I'm going to get a mini fridge, and I'm going to put it right next to my bed. I'll pump, I'll put it in there, and then I'll just listen to the whirring of a mini fridge all night. It's fine. I didn't even think about, what if I want to leave the house or things like that. And I found the chiller, and I sent an Instagram message and was like, hey, I love your product. Here's my background. If I can be of any help, let me know. And 3 months later, Lisa called me while I was getting my hair done, and here I am. So that's just to me, that's just that changed my life. The fact that I was I want to breastfeed. This chiller is going to help me, and now I'm getting to help moms and people and this company grow to what it is. It's just it gives me chills thinking about it.
I love that so much. Oh,
again, share Ceres Chill with your friends and family so that this company continue to grow and we can bring on more people and be around for the long run. I just hope that Ceres Chill ends up being a household name. What Ceres Chill is, just like what Tots is, and things like that. It's just a name that and we're gonna change the world.
I love that. I love that so much.